Hey guys, so I did this caster golemancer type of build with the new Primordial Chain amulet, but I very quickly got bored of it. Not that it's bad, it's just, I don't know, I just don't really feel like playing it. But still, I wanted to share some thoughts about that. So since we got new minion nodes that allows your minion damage to affect your damage as well, and as elementalist, especially with a lot of golems, you do get a lot of generic damage to yourself, for yourself. And in the past I did flame golems couple times, I did lightning golems, but I never did stone golems. So I kind of wanted to focus on stone golems. And the problem with stone golem is not a single target damage, is the clear speed. So for that I am using spark for clear speed. I did briefly try arc in open maps, but I feel like spark works better in delve. My main problem was probably because I don't have enough life, so I took mind over matter, which means I could no longer use anger aura, which was giving damage to, well, both flame golem, stone golem and me. And running mind over matter inside delve is really annoying. You drain your mana, you can't use skills then, and then if, like in this case, I ran out of flares, I ran out of phasing flask, and I just couldn't pass enemies, and I just died. But this kind of could be solved by removing mind over matter and trying to get more life nodes. But in the end I probably would end up having like 5000 life, maybe a bit more, and I would have about 700-800 life regen, but that's still not enough. And without mind over matter I would probably have mana issues and I couldn't pseudo fire link my spark. So the approach that I took was probably not the best, and if you focus completely on minions and minion damage, you would get much better results, especially if you focus on flame golems or lightning golems. Just keep in mind that having 10 flame golems will definitely kill your FPS. But I didn't want to do that because, like I said, I already played with flame golems multiple times and already played with lightning golems. So I decided to give up on this build and work on the next build. But before that, here are a couple more ideas about the golem build approach. You could go for maximum golems and use 2 clay shapers, the anima stone, the new amulet, or you could use fossils and craft minion damage weapons. Since remember, increases in minion damage also affect your damage. If you go to poeafix.net, you can see that you can craft up to 130 minion damage with bound fossils on 2-handed weapons. And you could use this weapon for another 6-link setup. Or you could craft 2 one-handed weapons with up to 80% minion damage on each weapon, so up to 160% minion damage. Or just use one weapon and a shield. Maybe use a shield for yourself or use necromantic aegis to give it to minions. Actually, well, anima stone is still pretty expensive, so if you don't want to use anima stone, you can definitely just play with 2 clay shapers and not even get anima stone. Obviously you would have less combined DPS, but I think it would still be enough. Also, you could have like pseudo 5 or pseudo 6 link helmet for minions, and you could use pseudo 5 link or maybe even pseudo 6 link gloves, maybe with faster casting or faster projectiles, and the spark would be purely for clear speed. Or use something like ball lighting for single target setup, while the golems would be mainly for clear speed like flame golems. Also, the thing is, I'm not really sure if Primordial Chain is actually worth it. It does give a lot of movement speed for your golems, which is really needed to offset their stupid AI. And here in these clips I even tried using Queen's Escape Sword to give even more movement speed, but of course it means you lose 2 golems. And looking at the raw numbers, if you only have one type of golem, you would end up having more DPS without the Primordial Chain amulet. And of course you also cannot summon any other minions besides golems. And they also have less life. Basically your golems are much faster, they die faster, and they do less damage per hit. The difference is not that big, it is less than 10% difference, but if you don't use this amulet, you could also have other minions, like Herald of Purity minions, or specters, or zombies. No, I take it back, maybe not zombies, but Herald of Purity definitely. So that's that. Unless I did some mistake calculating stuff, I think that this amulet is not really worth it. It does have some uses, especially if you want to go hybrid and be a caster yourself. And maybe that's the intention behind this amulet, but I did not really enjoy this playstyle at this time. Oh, one last thing. Since monsters in Delve don't really have any, resistance to curses, you could actually use the other skin and run 6 curses. As a golemancer, I did that in the past, but also it's a bit clunky to use, so I don't know. But what about you? Did you manage to make this amulet work in the endgame? Do you feel like it's worth it? Or do you think it's better to just use other minions in addition to this? Let me know in the comments below, and I'm sure others would also like to hear it. Now, regarding my next build, I already have level 70 something berserker with Warcries. I don't really have clips for that, but it is working pretty okay-ish, using Debon's Dirge Axe and using 2 Warcries, Enduring Cry and Rallying rallying cry for damage, but I just for some reason don't really feel like playing it. Cyclone AoE still seems pretty bad. It's not that noticeable in Dell, but when I'm doing open maps it definitely doesn't feel right. So I'm actually gonna do another build, and this is gonna be a pretty silly idea, hopefully not that silly. With the new fossils on weapons you can get 60% chance for poisons inflicted with these weapons to deal 100% more damage. Same thing for bleed, but as a pathfinder you have 40% chance for that. So I'm gonna be running pathfinder and I will have 100% chance for poisons inflicted with weapons to deal 100% more poison damage. And 60% bleed. So I will be building both bleed, poison, pathfinder. But the passive skill tree looks so, I don't know, so awkward. I'm not sure if this is gonna work or not. Because as a ranger I will be going all the way around through bottom highway, all the way to the spiritual aid minion node. Because I also want to use Herald of Agony and Herald of Purity minions. I may change like, I don't know, 80% of that build as I progress. So we'll see. Anyway, thank you for watching and see you soon.